The last layer 2 that did an airdrop was Optimism, where people made between $10,000 to $50,000. I even saw some people on Optimism making $100,000 plus. It was absolutely crazy. So if we look into the future and look at what layer 2s are going to be doing airdrops next, the most obvious and the biggest one is Arbitrum. So in today's show, I want to be going over the exact steps on how you can potentially get an Arbitrum airdrop. We know that their token, Arbi or Arb, is going to be launching soon. So I want to cover some of the steps if you guys aren't already involved. I see some people in the comments saying it's too late for Arbitrum, and maybe it's too late for that initial snapshot that they may have taken back in June. However, we do see with these projects that they do multiple snapshots. So just because you missed the first snapshot doesn't mean you're not eligible for potentially the next airdrop. So I think considering the steps in today's video are free and don't take that long to do, then it's a no-brainer. Because if you do them and you get the airdrop, that's amazing. You could potentially get thousands of dollars. If you do them and you don't get the airdrop, well, maybe you only spend like 5 to 10 minutes a day. So you only lose a little bit of time that you were probably using watching Netflix anyway. And that is why the airdrop strategy in 2022, especially in October, has been quite profitable because you are not spending too much time or too much money and you're getting the upside of these gains. So I'm going to get into that in a second. But if we're talking about gains, then you would have made no more gains than watching the show on Friday and Thursday. The trades that I gave you guys for the trading comp, the ETH one was up 47%. I did close both of these trades, by the way, banked the profits. The near trade was up 68%. I gave that to you guys on the show on Friday. And then also I did a video on Thursday saying that I was buying Aptos and buying GNS. The Aptos price is currently $9.55. I told you guys I was buying that at $7, so we're already up almost 30% on that trade. And I also told you guys I was buying Gains Network at $2.70, and now it's at $3.24. So overall, we've had a very, very, very profitable few days. Both spot buys from that video are significantly up. Both trades are significantly up, so that's 4 for 4 over the last few days. So I'm very, very happy with that as well. And I also, on my Instagram, after the stream, told you guys that I was buying Beefy Finance. That has come down a little bit since it pumped. But since I talked about that, it's gone up to it went up to like $500 and then wicked back down a little bit. So this is good because it's consolidating again. And honestly, I was kind of happy because I wanted to buy more. So when it pumped to 500, I was like, no. I wasn't too happy with that. But now we are starting to get it coming back down again, which is good. But basically 4 for 4 or 5 for 5 if you include Beefy. We've had a very, very good few days. So yeah, make sure you're watching the show every day. The point of this show is to give you guys the best alpha in crypto. I want to help you guys find the next 20x gems, find the next 50x gems, bring you guys the altcoins no one else is talking about, and also help you at the same time get into these airdrops and win these airdrops that are so highly coveted, but also so highly profitable in this day and age. So if you guys are excited for that, make sure you subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and smash the like button because we are going to develop the most profitable community in crypto. And this is the show that is going to set you guys up for that next bull market. And in the meantime, hopefully make you some money. Just before we get into the Arbitrum steps, remember the trading comp is live. You guys know we hit a massive trade on Friday. So the trading comp is in full swing. If you want to sign up, all you need to do is click on either the BitGet or the ByBit referral link in the description. Sign up if you don't already have an account to either of these platforms. And then after you've done that, you can register using the first links in the description for ByBit and BitGet. And this will register you into the competition where on ByBit, you can win $100,000 in cumulative prizes. And on BitGet, we're giving away $55,000. And I think there's only like 500 participants here, which makes it very, very lucrative if you can win because there's not much competition. And in ByBit, there is only 1,000 competitors. So finishing top 10 isn't a crazy expectation. I made a little bit of a mistake. I'm pretty annoyed at myself. It says I'm ranked 475 here. You guys know I made big money on the trade. So why am I ranked 475 if I should be in the top 10? Well, on my second account, which I used to open the trade, I forgot to click the register button. So don't make my mistake. Before you open a trade, click register on the dashboard because I'd be top 10 right now and I'm a little bit annoyed that I didn't click it. But now this second account's registered, so now I can start trading on it. But yeah, make sure you click that register button or you won't be eligible and you'll end up making a mistake like me and missing out on a top 10 ranking because these trades probably would have put me in the top 10. But anyway, doesn't matter. Onwards and upwards. Let's get straight into the Arbitrum show. So firstly, before I discuss the airdrop, well, I'm discussing it now. we have to look at why Arbitrum is so coveted and why people are anticipating this airdrop so highly. Now, my main logic for this is looking at optimism. So people that did the optimism airdrop, they made over $10,000, a lot of them. And optimism is arguably a smaller layer 2 than Arbitrum. Arbitrum has more daily transactions, has more TVL, and is, in my opinion, honestly, probably a better product if we look at the tech component. They recently just launched their network upgrade called Nitro, which has proven to increase the efficiency of the network by over 75%. In the future, they have projections of over 200% plus. So it's a much more efficient network than Optimism, but the Optimism airdrop yielded some amazing results. Now, if Arbitrum is the bigger L2 and has the bigger market cap, then we can assume that the Arbitrum airdrop will be more in terms of market cap, but obviously it's more competitive, so you have to divide it by more people that are eligible. But I do think that Arbitrum is a very good airdrop to go for if you haven't gone for it already, just because it's been on a tear lately. If we look at the transactions, its daily transactions are now consistently clocking over 200,000 transactions a day. Its total value locked puts it in the top 6 of all protocols. This beats Solana, this beats Phantom, this beats Optimism, and it's honestly been pushing for a top 5 spot in terms of TVL. The TVL is now $4.7 billion on Arbitrum. And the statistics put the Arbitrum bridge as the number 2 ranked bridge out of any chain. This is more than Optimism, NEAR, DYDX, Phantom, ZK Sync. The only bridge that's bigger than it on Ethereum is Polygon. And we know how big the Polygon chain is itself. So there's no denying how big Arbitrum is. A little bit of info into how Arbitrum works is it's a layer 2 solution designed to scale Ethereum. So they process transactions on their optimistic rollups off chain. So they settle transactions on a proprietary side chain, meaning they don't need to settle transactions on the ETH layer because we know the ETH layer is slow, it's clunky, and L2s help to effectively scale Ethereum to get those extra speeds to squeeze those extra transactions out. So they use optimistic rollups to do so. And it was developed by Off-Chain Labs. And if we look at the list of backers here, it's pretty crazy. They raised $120 million in their Series A and their Series B funding rounds. They raised money from Lightspeed, Alameda, Redpoint, Ribbit, Polychain, Pantera. Interestingly, this was also one of Mark Cuban's first crypto investments, or at least first VC investments. He's been active in the crypto space recently. This is one of the projects that is heavily backing, and he is one of the major partners here of the raise. The ecosystem as well, that has developed pretty quickly over the last few months. So we have seen many of the major dApps. Think Uniswap, think Curve, think Aave, think SushiSwap. These big apps that deployed on other EVM-compatible chains have now all deployed on Arbitrum because people like to use the Arbitrum network. It's fast, it's quick. And we've also seen off the back of that, Arbitrum get its own apps. So GMX, Stargate isn't on many platforms that decided to launch on Arbitrum. There's other tokens that have launched on Arbitrum recently, like Radiant Capital, Dopex, Vesta Finance. These projects that are now Arbitrum exclusive are starting to launch. GNS, Gains Network, which I talked about last week, that's on Polygon, but that is also getting an Arbitrum launch. So now we know there's a propensity for projects to launch on Arbitrum after going on other EVM chains first. And I think that's why I'm so bullish on this ecosystem as a whole, because they clearly have the adoption, the developers like deploying there, and they are gaining traction off the back of some very, very solid tech. So how do you invest in it? There's no token. So despite the network usage skyrocketing, Arbitrum still doesn't have a token. But there is rumors, and we basically have confirmation of this because the founder was talking on an interview the other day, and he said that the token was definitely in their plans, that Arbitrum, the Arbi or the ARB token will be launching in Q4 2022 or Q3 2020 or Q1 2023. So we know that they are getting a token. So we have to prepare ourselves for this eventuality. And how do we prepare ourselves for this eventuality? We have to start doing the steps that can potentially lead us to an airdrop. So here's the full step-by-step guide. I'm going to run you through the steps right now on how to receive an Arbitrum airdrop if you haven't qualified already. Now, for those that were doing this in June and July, and you've done a lot of these steps already, well, I think you're in a very good spot for potentially capturing that first snapshot. So congratulations. But for the ones that haven't done any actions yet, I still think there's potential to get an airdrop here. So I'm going to run you through the stats right now on how you could potentially do that. The first step is by using the Arbitrum bridge. So if you click on, by the way, I'm going to pin this thread. So anyone that does want to look at the thread after watching the video, they can look at that on my Twitter. There's a link in the description to my Twitter, so it'll be at the top now. But I'll run you through the steps in depth, more depth than I did in the thread to help you guys fully understand it. The first thing is using the bridge. So if you click on bridge.arbitrum.io, this is going to take you to the Arbitrum bridge. What you want to do is you want to bridge across from Ethereum to Arbitrum and other EVM chains. So you could take $10 and you could bridge across from Ethereum to Arbitrum, Arbitrum back to Ethereum, Ethereum back to Arbitrum. Just do a couple transactions. It might cost you, $3 or $4 in gas fees, but the gas fees are pretty low considering this might be a prerequisite. So that's the first thing I'd do. I'd start bridging across and using the main Arbitrum bridge and getting active on that. The second thing that I would start doing is I would go to DeFi Llama. I would click on chains. I would scroll down. I'd click on Arbitrum. And I'd look at some of the top dApps that are only listed on Arbitrum. We can see the chains here has the logo when it's just on Arbitrum. If it has multiple logos, that means it has multiple deployments. I would focus on the Arbitrum focus applications first. GMX, Radiant, Dopex, and Vesta are 4 of them that I've identified. There are more that you can pick as well. Just look through the ones you like. Those are the 4 that I like. And those chains, you should go onto them and interact with them. So a few examples of what an interaction may look like. On GMX, you may want to open a trade, like just literally $2, $3, $10 trade, something extremely low, just to click, just to tick that box of actually using these applications. You can also deposit, let's say V Dopex into one of the Dopex vaults, deposit into a straddle vault, so execute an option strategy. On Uniswap, you can provide liquidity. Anything that is using the applications is a good thing. From Arbitrum's perspective, they are going to want to reward users that are actively using the network and actively interacting with Arbitrum DApps. So that's why I'd focus on Arbitrum DApps first. And then secondly, I'd start to interact with some of the cross-chain DApps. And these cross-chain DApps are also deployed on Arbitrum. So you have Stargate, Curve, Uniswap, Aave, SushiSwap, these big dApps I would also interact with. So maybe that's like a list of 8 dApps. I mean, it might only cost you like $2 per dApp or even less to interact. You can use the bare minimum amount, but just getting active in this ecosystem is very beneficial in my opinion. That's not the biggest step though. The biggest step is, and the most important step is step number 3, and this is participating in Arbitrum Odyssey. So if you guys don't know what Arbitrum Odyssey was, it was essentially an 8-week initiative that they launched where they were giving away NFTs to participants that completed certain quests. So if you went on to Arbitrum Odyssey and you did the steps that they laid out in the Discord, then you would get these NFTs. Now, I personally believe that Arbitrum Odyssey will be the main prerequisite for the snapshot. So yeah, they may look at if you've used the bridge. They may look at if you've been using other dApps as well. That certainly could be a component of the snapshot. However, the ones that competed in Arbitrum's initiative program, Arbitrum Odyssey, they'll be the ones, in my opinion, that are favored for an airdrop. Now, what happened is this launched in June, but it only ran for a few weeks. And it only ran for a few weeks because they had significant network congestion, because the network upgrade Arbitrum Nitro hadn't launched yet. And the network was getting very congested with millions of people trying to do these quests. So what happened was they delayed it. So they posted in the Discord, they said Odyssey is paused. Check our announcement. The Odyssey is an 8-week initiative program. These were the weeks. So they had GMX week, an Arbitrum Exchange, a Yin Finance week, a 1-inch week, but they paused it. However, it is highly touted that post the launch of Arbitrum Nitro, which is now live, that they will resume parts of this Odyssey quest. And then you'll have the opportunity to get involved. Now, to stay up to date with this, to make sure you don't miss out on these next steps from the Arbitrum Odyssey, there's 2 things you can do. The first thing is, on Twitter, I will be updating you guys with the tasks each week. So as soon as Odyssey relaunches, I'll be doing a weekly script or a weekly thread on the tasks that you need to complete to get Arbitrum Odyssey to help you guys out. So if you follow me on Twitter, that's the first thing I do, and turn post notifications on, of course, because then you won't miss out on a single post. So link in the description to my Twitter. But the next thing you can do is join the Arbitrum Discord. So it's discord.gg/Arbitrum. this Discord is where you can stay up to date. They have all the latest updates on Odyssey. They have all the latest updates on the quests. And in the Discord, there's a few very cool things that you can do. There are actually special roles inside the Discord. So we can see here the Treasure Fam role, the Link Marine role, the Arbinaut role. In fact, if we click on the guild link, we can see there's even more roles available. All these roles, GMX Farm, DopeX Farm, Livekeeper Farm, sorry, I'm saying farm, it's fam. I'm like thinking there's an R there. DopeX Fam. If you want to join these, I've got dyslexia today apparently. If you join these, if you do these initiatives, then you can get access to special roles inside the Discord server. So these roles inside the server are only applicable or eligible to the people that have done these requirements. So if you click join guild to get roles and you connect it to your MetaMask wallet and you join the Discord, then all you need to do is literally buy 0.001 magic, own a small brain NFT, own a small brain body. Then for the Arbinaut one, all you need to do is participate in Odyssey. In Link Marine, you literally only need to hold 0.001. So it's like, what, half a cent worth of Link. And that's on the Arbitrum network, of course. So you need to do it on your Arbitrum wallet and connect your wallet to this guild site. GMX, you just need to buy this NFT and hold 0.001 GMX. I mean, it's basically free, right? Doing this, it's going to cost you a few cents in gas, basically. That's all it's going to cost. But by doing this, you're getting roles in the Discord. And these may be a prerequisite. Now, in my opinion, I think Arbitrum Odyssey will be the main prerequisites. However, there is a chance that they do look at what badges you have in the Discord towards who they give the airdrop to. So, I mean, if it only costs a few dollars total to get all these badges, then, I mean, why wouldn't you? Because you're just putting yourself ahead of the pack in a better position than the other people in the airdrop by going that extra step and completing the roles in the Discord. So I personally think that is also a good thing to do. And also, you should probably purchase, just for $10, an Arbitrum Odyssey NFT. So I've got the link here. The link is in my Twitter, but it's also Stratos NFT /collection /Arbitrum Odyssey. If you go onto this link, you can buy an NFT for just $10. They're like 0.0054 ETH. You need one of these NFTs to join Arbitrum Odyssey. And there's so many of them because they wanted as many people to join as possible that the price of these will barely rise because there's 371,000 of them. But if you want to join Arbitrum Odyssey, pick yourself up an Odyssey NFT because it's basically a known factor, at least of a high percent probability chance that you will need to own that NFT to get that airdrop. So that there's a link to that. It's only $10 plus maybe a few cents in gas because Arbitrum's pretty quick. So when Odyssey returns, you can start taking part in that. So I believe Arbitrum is one of the biggest airdrops in recent history. It's very highly coveted. That is why if you haven't already gotten involved, it's probably a good idea to do so. Even if the snapshot's already taken, it is still worth a go because they may stagger the snapshot. Just remember what happened with Optimism. So yeah, the guys that got in early and did the Optimism requirements, they're the ones that made $50,000. So don't get me wrong. If you haven't done the requirements yet, I mean, it's unlikely you're going to get $50,000, of course. I mean, that would be very, very wishful thinking. The guys that completed the Arbitrum Odyssey quests in June, well, yeah, they probably do have a chance of getting $10,000 to $50,000. For the rest of you, there may be a secondary snapshot. So what is happening with Optimism, it's projected that they are going to be doing a secondary snapshot for the people that didn't get that initial airdrop. And those people are going to get a new Optimism airdrop, obviously less than the original guys, but they'll be getting that very, very soon. So the same thing can happen with Arbitrum. They may have already done the snapshot for the original base of users, but they may have not done their secondary snapshot for the next tier of rewards. And that's why I think if it's only going to cost you a few dollars and, you know, an hour of your time, then it's worthwhile because, yeah, you may not get it, but if you do get it, you could make thousands of dollars, which is why these airdrop strategies are so profitable in my opinion. You do need to stay on top of things though. So I did a tweet here. I said it's easy to forget when and what to do to get an airdrop. So make sure you schedule specific tasks on a calendar app. Get a calendar app on your phone. I've got an app called Fantastical. You might use Google Calendar and literally put in the tasks on a week-by-week basis every Sunday night. Outline what you're going to do for the week. Okay, Monday, I'm going to deposit something into the GMX vault, and I'm going to bridge $10 from Ethereum to Arbitrum. Tuesday, I'm going to buy an Arbitrum NFT, and then I'm going to complete one of the badges. Wednesday, I'm going to use DopeX And I'm also going to complete my second badge, which is owning or depositing in a DopeX vault. That way, you're killing two birds with one stone. So you're interacting with the ecosystem, you're getting badges, but you're also being organized because you've got it there in your calendar. And because you're probably doing it multiple airdrops at once, like I've been doing a few airdrop threads on my Twitter, and as these airdrops start to pile up and up and up, and you're going for Layer 0 and Arbitrum and ZK Sync, and then you're going for Pixels and all these other games that I've been talking about on my Twitter for getting those airdrops, then you're going to want to be organized. Because if you're doing 4 airdrops at once, you're going to want to have everything laid out on that calendar so you don't get overwhelmed and you don't get confused. So that is my alpha tip. Staying up to date with a calendar app, because that is going to get you ahead of the curve and able to adhere to a proper airdrop strategy. So the thread is on my Twitter, link in the description. I made it the pinned tweet so you guys can easily find it. And thank you for all the support on my Twitter recently. These threads have been going crazy. You guys have been showing the support for the airdrop content. So, I'm going to continue helping you guys to actually get these airdrops. I'm also going to give you some more smaller airdrops in the future. So I've been covering the big ones for now, which are Layer 0, Sui, Arbitrum, ZK Sync, these big ones that I know most of you guys probably want. But what I'm also going to start doing on my Twitter and then also on the YouTube is covering some of these smaller airdrops. So the ones that not that many people are going for, but actually you have a higher chance of getting. So you may get Arbitrum, but it may not be a huge amount now because many people are doing it. But some of the smaller airdrops, they can be even bigger because there's not as much competition, right? So that is another thing I'm going to be doing. So make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss out on any of these future content. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss out. And also make sure you're following me on Twitter because that is where I'll be posting a lot of this stuff in written form as well. So the shows are great, but you guys can also have a written transcript. So you have both references to look at as well. And someone asked about the giveaway. I'm not doing a giveaway for today's show, but on Friday's show, I did give away $100 to a lucky winner. I won't reveal who he is, but he was a very nice African guy. He said it changed his life. I mean, it was very heartwarming to hear that actually. So I'm glad it went to a good. I'm glad it went to a good cause. But I'm also going to continue to do some giveaways on the shows because I want to reward you guys as well. So congrats to you. Hope you enjoy your $100. And yeah. I'll also be doing more giveaways, but not on today's show. It'll be on random shows, depending on what type of show it is. Also, shout out to DeFi Chain, the sponsor of today's show. All right, cool. I think that is that. I will catch you guys tomorrow for another video. Maybe an airdrop video, maybe not. We'll see. We'll see where the wind blows tomorrow. But yeah, have a good one. Peace out.